Welcome to Judge of Ghana TV. Akwa Baba, Judge of Ghana TV so.
But since then, a lot of things have changed. And one of the major changes in the media landscape is technology and the new media. And so we don't have traditional media as we knew it. In terms of media houses, you either had a newspaper publishing organization or you had a broadcasting organization. The media has become a bit decentralized. And because anybody who has a phone and a camera can report news to the public. And it means that communications dealing with the range of people, not only traditional, well-organized media houses, but also individuals, especially the new group called bloggers, who go to events with journalists and vie for positions with them to get the best shots and the best stories. And they just go with their phone, edit, and then they put the news out. So the media landscape has changed and the sources of information has changed. And in many cases, those people who are setting the agenda, because for most of our stations in the morning, they're taking a lot of news from what 1957 covered or what GH something covered. And they have all these, their little inscriptions they put on their videos. And that drives the discussion in the morning. So they become a very important part of that segment, but are unregulated. And so sometimes they go to the extreme. The language is filthy. I mean, they can just, go to town, either insulting somebody or sometimes on the limits of hate speech. And these are things that in the whole world, people are beginning to look at and say, how can we regulate hate speech? How can we regulate, extreme foul language, And so it's just an issue I'm raising so that all of us can begin to think about it. And the point is, would we classify them in the typical sense of journalists? I mean, those bloggers, are they typically journalists? Those are all questions that must irritate our minds.
Today we're going to talk about John Dramani Mahama's assertion that new media, social media, content creators are setting the agenda for the country. This is true. And then we'll also talk about the We Are Not Safe in Ghana walk, which is against undocumented, illegal persons, illegal immigrants who are in Ghana, especially those who are engaged in criminality. And this all started with the Igbo King in Ghana issue. And it has spread to a big walk. And to be honest, it is an essential threat. It's a threat to the security of Ghana. And it needs to be addressed as such. This pushing it under the carpet is not working. It's essentially John Dramani Mahama and our leaders, especially the ministers, up and do something about this, because the way things are going, the level of criminality is too much. And Ghana Immigration Service, what are you waiting for? Go to Liberia camp in Kaswa. Apparently there's change to Nigeria camp. That's according to people who live in Kaswa. Because I've got a friend who lives in Kaswa, and he said the unsavory things that are going on in Liberia, which is now Nigeria camp in Kaswa, it is terrible. So that is one place that Ghana Immigration Service should go to. I would like you to like, share, subscribe if you're new to this channel. In this episode of Judge of Ghana TV, we look at what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said about the role of bloggers or the rise of new media in terms of social media, which is basically taking over the journalistic space. It seems like people are moving away from the traditional newspapers and traditional media of television and associating themselves with, different content creators. So there's a rise in the content creator, economy, even here in Ghana, and it's having a debilitating effect on mainstream media. And rightly so, because people are fed up of the formal structural news reporting lines, where basically all the information is controlled either by the government or by some people who are aligned to certain politically exposed persons. And so they sugarcoat the news so that the people do not get the correct perspective or a different perspective. What social media has done is has made journalism for the people, by the people. So social media is journalism by the people, for the people. That is the new media age we're in. And basically everybody is a journalist. If you have a phone that has a camera in it and you can press record, you are essentially entering into the journalistic space or the journalistic space. So we're all journalists, and rightly so, because a lot of people are doing so much criminality, so much underhand things that people don't know about. And when you have a camera and you can find a way to film the incident, a lot of corruption is exposed. And there's a saying, people say that if you can't beat them, join them. But I say, if you can't beat them, expose them. And that is what the content creator economy, the increase and the massive increase in the content creator economy has done to journalism, even in Africa and Ghana. It's a breakthrough. The Bible says that there's going to come a time when information will go to and fro at super speed. We are in those times, and it's going to get more so, especially with the increase in artificial intelligence. So we are in those times. We are in the times that the Bible talked about that was to come. We are in those times now. And social media is exposing this fact. That proves to you that the Word of God, the Bible, is true. Because the things that they say in it is manifesting life in colored. Also, in today's episode of Judge of Ghana TV, I would like us to talk about the walk, the much anticipated We Are Not Safe walk, which is focusing on the illegal undocumented persons in Ghana who are causing so much havoc in the country, taking over the retail business. As the saying always goes, they say 70% of retail business in Ghana is owned by foreigners. Many of them are working in this country, these illegal immigrants, these illegal undocumented immigrants. Many of them are working in construction, in security, and they're basically taking away the jobs, and in retail, and are essentially taking away the jobs of our Ghanaians. You see, we cannot compare the economy of Ghana with the economy of the Western powerhouse nations of, say, the United Kingdom or the USA or any other European country. We just don't have the power, the economic power that these other countries have, so that they can have, if you're a foreigner, you can be doing those jobs, because even the locals are not interested in retail jobs. So a lot of foreigners, or cleaning jobs, those are lowly jobs that the locals are not interested in. They are moving on to other things. So when you go to those countries and you want a job, at least the lowly jobs, you get it. And also, if you zoom into the system, the education system and stuff in the West, we're talking about UK, US, other European countries, even some parts of Asia, you will get a good job in a good company. And they have policies where they are trying to increase the intake of minorities. So non-white people. So black people, they're looking to increase black and Asian people in their organizations because they have these policies. But in a country like Ghana, we're all dark-skinned black people. And there's not even enough work for the locals. But many people are being imported from Togo, from Nigeria, who are taking over the little jobs that are available for the people of Ghana. And one of the excuses they use is that Ghanaians are lazy. Yeah? Because there's a place where they're building, okay, which I'm aware of. And the comment that somebody, a Ghanaian lady made, was that, I said, she's one of the construction workers, a Nigerian came to buy something in the shop. And I was talking to the shopkeeper and I said, this person doesn't sound like they're from Ghana. And she said, they're from Nigeria. And I said, hey, so these Nigerians, they are truly taking over the Ghanaian jobs, even in construction. And the lady says, the job is back-breaking, the construction work is back-breaking, and Ghanaians are not interested. To me, this is a lie. If you're not aware that, or if you go for the job, and the job has been contracted out to Nigerian construction workers who are imported into the country, or to Togolese construction workers who have been imported to the country, because the builders, the people who are financing the build, are looking for cheaper labor. Maybe the demands of the foreigners is less because they don't have to pay any national Senate, any social security charges, Senate charges. So, and maybe sometimes it's cash in hand. If the person has come into the country, it's a bit difficult for them to survive. So if you give them or they accept a lower pay, then maybe a Ghanaian will accept. So to whoever is financing the build and that project, they prefer to give the contract to people who are cheaper. So maybe that is where we get this issue, but it's still illegal. It is wrong. But Ghanaians, we tend to turn a blind eye to these type of situations where these illegal, undocumented people are in the country. And we have another problem. You see, this I was watching Kweku Anand's Fourth Line, the Friday edition, Friday the 5th of September 2025 edition. And Kweku Anand was saying that, I saw this gentleman that Kweku Anand is talking about. I saw him on TikTok. He was having a conversation with a mixed bunch of people, some Ghanaians, some Nigerians, concerning this matter which Kweku Annan talked about, of the fact that Kweku Annan said on Monday's edition, Monday the 1st of September's edition of Kweku Annan, The Frontline, he said that the Frontline is working in conjunction with the Ghana Immigration Service so that people can basically snitch or call in and leave messages on a hotline, a WhatsApp hotline set up by the Frontline, a little audio about illegal or people they suspect to be illegal or undocumented who are living in certain accommodation, maybe clandestinely, because the owner of the property doesn't want people to know that they've rented their properties to Nigerians, and these Nigerians are doing all sorts of shady businesses. They should report them to this WhatsApp hotline, and the Frontline will work with Ghana Immigration Service to go to these properties and arrest these illegal undocumented immigrants. And when that happens, the landlord who didn't check the status of the people, the foreigners they rented their properties to, will also get in trouble. This is common. This immigration law that Kweku Annan referred to, he said it is Section 52 1B Act 2000, Act 573 of the Ghana Immigration Service law. This act he mentioned. We have similar acts like this in the UK and the US. And I say we have all these laws in Ghana here, but the problem is in Ghana here, our Ghana Immigration Service personnel are loose. And the problem starts at the borders because they let bus loads, a lot of these buses that ply their trade between our ECOWAS neighbors and other African countries. Buses that go, for example, between Accra and Lagos. Some of these vehicles, when they enter into Ghana, majority of the people in the bus are undocumented. They don't have a shred of documents. But the people at the bus company charge higher for those who don't have any documents. And then they allow them to buy tickets to be able to go in and out of Ghana freely, even though they don't have any documentation. And many of these people, when they enter into Ghana, they're not coming to Ghana for holiday. They're coming to Ghana to seek greener pastures and to work. Because the value of the Ghana cedi compared to the Nigerian naira, the value of the Ghana cedi is very high. And when these Nigerians, they live a very, very, they try to save as much money as they can, and they live a very basic life. Let's call it basic life. The conditions they live are not the best. Even the quality of their food is normally not the best. The quality of where they sleep is not the best. But because they are looking to amass as much money as possible to send back home, they live in this way because they have a target they are looking to fulfill, which is provide financing for their families back home in Nigeria. So they work like dogs. The Nigerians and the foreigners work like dogs, saving as much as they can so that they can send it back home. So you can't fault a man for looking for greener pastures because their country is not offering them that. And you see, Nigerians have a problem because they've been rejected by many countries because of the criminal behavior of a majority, according to countries like South Africa, United Arab Emirates, especially Dubai, even the UK, the US, Canada. Everybody is, many countries, even Italy. Look at they've gone to Italy, these Nigerians have gone to Italy and set up another wing of mafia. They control certain areas in Italy and are working as subordinates to the Italian mafia. And they sell their own persons into prostitution here in Ghana and over in Italy as well. So this type of behavior, this type of unethical criminal behavior, they are importing it from their country into the countries, the host countries they go to, whether it be Ghana, Canada, UAE, Dubai, USA, or any European country. They are importing this criminal behavior. And you see, when they come to Ghana, some of them assume Ghanaian names. Ghana was telling the story of his daughter at his daughter's school. He was saying that one of the teachers was telling him that about 60% of the students in the school are of Nigerian heritage. That's a school here in Ghana. And what they do is they change the children's names to Ghanaian names so that they can, all the children, even though they are born in Nigeria, they all have Ghanaian birth sets. So we have a problem because our people in positions like the birth and death office, passport office, national insurance, national identification authority as well. They are all in cahoots. Some of the workers there are in cahoots, and they are interested to sell whatever service or product they have to the highest bidder. They don't care who's asking them to do a birth set, a Ghana card, or a passport for them, so far as they are paying the money they request. Once again, the love of money is the root of all evil. And this is what is letting us down in this fight against corruption. So this man that was attacking Kweku Annan, clearly he lacks knowledge. If he didn't lack knowledge, he won't be speaking like this. This is a man that lacks knowledge. And you see, when you do you're a content creator or a blogger on social media, you need to get your facts right, or you might end up looking stupid. Because if you get your facts wrong and you just turn on the camera and spew garbage, rubbish, and spew rubbish, people will realize that you are just you don't know what you're talking about, and your reputation will be in tatters. And unfortunately, this young man, whoever he is, his reputation is in tatters because he didn't do his research. He didn't do his due diligence before he turned on the camera on TikTok and started lambasting Kweku Annan, the journalist, the very, very good investigative journalist who actually does good research. Anything Kweku Annan talks about, he has evidence. He just doesn't open his mouth and talk. So when you're going to attack somebody's integrity, somebody of the standing, that person of integrity of Kweku Annan, you need to have your facts right. And clearly, this young man, this Ghanaian young man, doesn't have his facts right. He's just talking, as they say, talking from his backside, out of his backside. And unfortunately, if you lack knowledge, you perish. And he's perishing because he lacks knowledge.
Abrantie akofa mimi video. Say, on Monday show na na me say, including say me repeat it say, Ghana ni biara for your WhatsApp number no. Huh? Any Nigerians hiding somewhere, take the number. Run an audio, 1 second audio to us. Give us the hideouts of these Nigerians. We'll take over. We are working in collaboration with the immigration office. And then we'll come after them. This guy is a Ghanaian. Maybe Obebo Nidindia. Now this guy goes out there and pick my video. And then he goes on alarming, saying what? What I'm saying is not true. And that there isn't any law in the provisions of GIS suggesting that a landlord should what? Should report immigrant to immigration before he rents a house to them. How did he put it? He actually took my content though, no problem. But I want you to listen to him again. For the purpose of clarity, I want you to listen to him. Take a listen.
There's this video circulating concerning about Ghanaian landlord sacking Nigerians or order being given by Ghana Immigration Office that they should sack all Nigerians. Any Ghanaian landlord that is housing Nigerians, they will be arrested and jailed for 5 years and all those. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a fallacy. I made a video concerning about that. The Kukuanan saying that one is a big fallacy. Nothing is happening in Ghana. If you are a landlord or landlady listening to me right now, somebody that is also working at a certain radio station or TV station, a failed journalist, is telling you that you should sack Nigerians, you shouldn't house Nigerians. I want to ask you, your daughters, your children that are in school, some of them that are into business that you are supporting with the rent of that house, are they going to pay you? Is Hassan Ayariga or Kwekwanan going to pay you? The immigration officers are not in support of that. Their hands are not inside. They didn't instruct anybody. Did you see any video of the immigrations? Or did you see any document of the immigration releasing statement that
So you've just seen that video of this young man messing up himself because he lacks knowledge. And Kweku Annan was gracious enough to bring out the Ghana Immigration Service rules, the Immigration Acts, and specify the area where it talks about the fact that it is in the laws of the Immigration Service to arrest both the landlord and the foreigners who are illegal in any property where the foreigners are tenants, have rented, where the foreigners have rented and are tenants. And basically, if you're seen to be harboring illegal immigrants or people who have been involved in crime in any property, as the owner of the property, you're also liable to a fine and possible up to 2 years in prison. And this is what Kweku Annan explained, you see. And I thought this was beautifully explained. So let's listen to that.
This ignorant guy, he doesn't know anything. Okay. Section 52, Clause 1B of the Immigration Act 2000, Act 573. And I read, shall we? Section 52, Clause 1B states that a person who knowingly, listen to me, you animal, a cocoon and a baboon, stop misinforming Ghanaians out there. Ghana for any landlord, so be TSA. Na what about Nigerians me donya me see ye bet chill. Na ye chill so ubeko jail. It would the animals when mu be this good for nothing guy who has been paid by who I don't know. Tie running here or say states that a person who knowingly harbors any person whom he knows is to be deported or has reasonable grounds to believe has acted in contravention of this act, commits an offense, and is liable on conviction to a fine that exceeding 1,000 Ghana cedis or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years or both. Just a couple of weeks ago, the immigration service went to MacArthur Hill and arrested a bunch of Nigerians, including who? The house, the landlord. The landlord is going to jail, and you sit there, you want to take my content, and what? I want to disabuse the minds of Ghanaians. You want to take my content and twist, give it a twist and turns. Animal cocoon. That's the law. You say you don't know. Why do you say no win? Now if you say win mumrano, oh say what bona unsia de pape biano, when sia de me kwekwana ne fail jana. I am so proud. The sad part of this my job, I'll tell you, is when my career went into its apex. And the man who schooled me outside and here, who is supposed to see the proceeds of my job, at the time he has to witness, then he's passed on. And that's my late father. Yes, I'm a proud journalist in every aspect of my life. I'm so proud, whatever. My spirit so exerts that glory. Me, Kweku. Do you know the things I've done in this country? One of the best journalists, Ghanaians, you've worshipped beyond, Anas Army Anas, where is he? We've taken all of these people who were trying to use Ghana like a rag to mop the floor. We've taken them down. And I'm proud. I'm so proud of what we are doing, naming, shaming them. And you see, who is this guy?
Also, Kwekwana confirmed that with 100% certainty, by 7 a.m. today, which is Saturday, the 6th of September 2025, masses of people will be meeting at Obra Spot in Circle for the great walk. The great We Are Not Safe walk. And the guest speaker after the walk is Honorable Dr. Hassan Ayariga. He'll be speaking to the people who participate in this walk, giving a message about the purpose of the walk, after the walk. And
and the next generation, we will be having another Palestine and Israeli war between Ghana and Nigeria. God bless you. We do not want to have war between our brothers from Nigeria. Yes. So, please behave or leave our country quietly. Behave or leave our country quietly. Our next demonstration will not be easy for you. Our next demonstration or walk will not be as peaceful as you think it will be if you continue to kill our people. It is not a threat, but I will threaten you if you threaten my people. I will come after you if you disobey my laws and kill my people. come after you if you kill or kidnap my people. I will come after you if you destroy the name of Ghana and the sovereignty of Ghana.
And it looks like when I was watching the quick run show, he opened the phone lines in other parts of the country, especially somebody called from Kumasi and said they would like to see a similar walk organized in Kumasi. Because this matter, this illegal immigrants, undocumented immigrant issue is prevalent in all parts of Ghana. Because even if you go to some Galamsey sites, you will find undocumented illegal persons, especially men in those areas. So a lot of people who don't even know how to speak P or English are in Ghana here looking for greener pastures, and they are undocumented. How they got into the country when they don't have the ability to speak the language is another thing, but it's happening. And for me, it's like the Ghana Immigration Service, to conclude, the Ghana Immigration Service are actually doing us a disservice in this country, because they are the people who meet the buses bringing these illegal, because if you're taking the airplane, you need to have a passport. So the airport will check all your status, whether you have your visas and stuff. But the people who are coming into the country, who are undocumented, are coming by road. And the Ghana Immigration Service are supposed to be at the border points, checking their passports. But they love money more than anything. So they don't care. They will take money, extra money. So the extra money that the bus companies charge to the people who are undocumented and are coming into Ghana and are leaving Ghana as undocumented persons, they turn that into money so that they can pay off the Ghana Immigration Service. And then when they bring them into the country, it becomes a problem for those who rent their property to them, because a lot of people rent property out, don't ask the foreigners they're renting to provide their documentation for them to check whether they are legal in Ghana or not. All they're interested in is that the person has got the money and they're moving in. And this is what is happening in Ghana. So it's like the Ghana Immigration Service has abdicated their work, taken the bribes, allowed the illegal immigrants into the country, and have shifted the blame to the landlords, who might not even know that the people are undocumented because they never requested their documentation. But as I have said before on this channel, I have not met in Ghana here, I've not met one Nigerian in Ghana here who is documented. I haven't. They're not documented, but they are working here and living here, and they are able to go to Nigeria and come back without any hindrance. So it takes complicit behavior from our Ghana Immigration Service personnel at the borders for this to happen. So if we really want to nip this in the bud, then our security services have to be up and doing, especially the Ghana Immigration Service at the borders. They have to close that loop, that gap, that loose end, and that deal they have, that under the table deal they have with the transportation companies that ply their trade between Ghana and a lot of the ECOWAS nations. They have to. Because otherwise we're going to have many, many more problems ahead. So I believe that this act that Kweku Annan showed us is a similar act that they have in the US and in the UK and in other Western countries. And you see the difference between the UK and the US and these developed countries and Ghana is that it's enforcement. Our people, our security services, the immigration service do not enforce the laws. That's why we're having these problems. There's a lack of enforcement. It's not that it's not written in our laws, it's a lack of enforcement that gives the impression to anybody watching in from the outside that there's no such law because we don't enforce it. Maybe perhaps if the authorities started enforcing the law, perhaps this thing will stop. That's all I want to say on the matter.
I would like you to kindly download these 2 free ebooks: Daily Devotional on Leadership and Unmasking Corruption in the 54 Nations of Africa. Kindly go to www.kofi.com/coachwright. The link is in the description below. Thank you.
Matter. If you like this type of content, I like to share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. And as I always end my episodes, I like to say, Ghana first, always. See you in the next episode. And bye for now. Bye.